you have dependents that you want to travel with, the first real task is to identify the schools, identify the country, get your admission letter. Hello, how are you doing today? Okay, so the main question we're addressing today is family relocation to Canada, UK, US via the study abroad route complicated? Is it complicated? Do you feel it is complicated? What's your answer to that question? Even without typing it, but you can type, but even without typing it, what is your initial answer to that question? Do you feel that family relocation is complicated? Are there moving parts? What led me to ask this question? I'm going to read for you one question I got from someone who followed me on social media. This is why I said, is this complicated? Let's hear the question. This person said, Dr. Linda, my marriage will be 4 years this November 2022. This, as of 2022 that we got this question. My marriage will be 4 years. No kids yet. Can my wife and I travel as a couple? She will be studying in Canada while I'll be working to support her. And this person is asking if this is possible. You know, but why did I ask the question, is family relocation complicated? I asked it because oftentimes I get questions like this, all right? I get questions like this and I see people trying to ask their own version of the question. In fact, I know from studying marketing psychology that people do this often. That's why I'm bringing it to your attention. So it's like, imagine even if I went out to answer this question, right? My marriage will be 4 years, blah, blah, blah. Then somebody else is going to ask, hey, my own marriage will be 7 years, but we still don't have kids. Is it possible? Then another person is going to ask, my marriage is 9 years old, but we don't have kids. Is it possible? Another person is going to say, mine is just 2 years old. We have 2 children. Is it possible? Another person is going to say, I'm just a single parent. My husband left me. My husband left me, but I have 5 children. Can I travel with them? Then somebody is going to come up and say, it is my own wife who left me. I am a man. Can I travel? Do you get my point? People tend to bring out their own version of the problem, of the question. They will twist it in a way. But one thing I want you to know is that it is you who is complicating it all. Family relocation is not complicated. So I'm going to go on to tell you the things you're going to look out for, or the core things that you should look out for. What are they? In a family, you have man, woman, and the kids by default, right? Sometimes you don't have the spouse, right? Let's say you are the man and you have kids, or you are the woman and you have kids. The man is absent or the woman is absent, maybe through a divorce or separation. Sometimes it could be man and woman and there are no kids. So even though we know that by default you have man, woman, and kids, sometimes 1 or 2 of these can be absent. Let's say you can even be a man who is married but now divorced or separated and you don't have kids, which means you are single. Do you get my point? So we have man, woman, and kids, but 1 or more of these can be absent. What does that mean? If you have kids or not, or you have wife or not, or you have a husband or not, it's okay. You can still do your relocation. All right? Now, let's go to about wife. About having one of the spouses absent. That means for single parent. If you're a single parent, everything that married couple can do for their children, you can do. The only difference is that your spouse is not present. Let me give you an example. Let's say if you can study and your spouse work full-time and the kids go to school. If you're a single parent, you won't have a spouse who will be working full-time. You won't have a spouse, right? So it is you who will be studying and your kids go to school. I don't know if you get. Now, if you're husband and wife and you don't have kids, it means you are studying, your wife is working or your husband is working, and you don't have kids that will go to school. So you don't have to worry about kids and their school. I don't know if you get. So it is about eliminating what it is that you don't have. It does not affect you in any way. That's why I say family relocation is not complicated. It's people who try to complicate it. I have 1 kid, I have 2 kids, I have 3 kids. It does not matter. I have no kid. It does not matter. I have 7 kids. It does not still matter. Right? In the sense that your kids can go to school, your kids can travel with you. Full stop. If you don't have kids, it simply means nobody is traveling with you. Do you get? So, now, what is the basic arrangement for family relocation via the study abroad route? The basic pathway is that one of the spouses get admission. The second spouse is going to get work permits or work authorization, so they work in the country. The kids, your kids can only follow you if they are still kids. I think maybe below 18 years old or below 20-something years old, depending on the country. Some countries will say below 22, some countries will say below 18. That also, you see, that thing I said there now, what you will notice is that some people will start saying, my kid is below 14. Does it apply? Jesus. I just said below 18 or below 22. That means you should have a question if your kid is, say, 19. You don't want to find out if it is 22 or 18 for that particular country, right? But if your kid is 14, you don't have any business with that sentence that I just made. It does not concern you. But people complicate things by suddenly asking, my own is 8 years old. Can I travel with her? Why are you asking that question? You are complicating it. From what I just said, it should be clear. Like, you get my point. Don't make things hard for yourself. You are stressing your brain. So, kids, provided is a kid, they can travel with you. Meaning, as I said, whether below 18 or below 22, depending on the country. So, if your kid is 16, 18, 20, 18, 15, 12, 8, 2 years old, 0, you give birth to the child today, you don't have a problem. They can travel with you. It's as simple as that, right? So, if you have kids, you can travel with them. If you have multiple kids, you can travel with them. If you don't have kid, don't start asking, family relocation that your kid travel with you. Me that don't have kid now, how does it apply to me? If you don't have kids, you don't have to worry about that. So family relocation is not difficult. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Now, what is the basic arrangement? The one of the spouses get admission. The second spouse, if you have any, if you are divorced, the second spouse does not concern you. If you have spouse that you are still living together, you are still married, the second spouse can get work permits. If you have kids, your children can travel with you and they study. And they don't even need their own like visa application. You add them as dependents to your visa. That's how it works. So, having said this, it's like, yes, what led to this question is the person that was saying, oh, can I travel with my wife? Yes. You are married, you are getting married today. Or you are even getting married in few months' time. Yes, you can travel with your spouse. Nobody has said if it is 1 month old, you cannot travel. If it is 5 months old, your marriage is 5 months old, you can travel. If it's 2 years, you can't travel. You know, there's no length of time. So, whether you get married today, you get married tomorrow, or you got married 10 years ago, you got married 20 years ago, your marriage is valid. You can travel with your spouse, right? Now, some people will come and say, hey, it's not my spouse, so it's just my fiancé. We are just dating. I don't know about that one. Preferably, it doesn't cost you anything to go and do court wedding. If truly you love this person and you want to live your life with them, go and do wedding and have wedding certificate, even if it's court marriage. Or you don't believe, you are not sure, you leave them first and finish for yourself. It's as simple as that. It's either you are sure, you go and get married, or you are not sure and you let them be for now. And you do your own relocation. When you get married, then you start thinking like you are married. Don't come and be thinking like you are married when you are not married and you don't have the intention to get married. Or you have the intention to get married in 5 years' time. AKA, you are not ready. Right? So, when it comes to family relocation, and I'm going to take your questions, please drop any question you have about family relocation right now. If you're watching this video live, if you're not watching it live, then listen to the responses I'm going to give to other people. All right? So, family relocation is not hard. Man, woman, and kids relocate via study abroad. Only one of them have to get admission. That's how it works. Only one of them have to get admission before they relocate. And it is the fastest, easiest, and surest way to relocate abroad with your family right now, irrespective of the country. Almost all high-income countries allow this. Somebody said, Dr. Linda, is not easy. A lot of money is involved. Yes, if you don't know what you are doing, surely a lot of money will be involved, right? If you don't know what you are doing, a lot of money will be involved. What do I mean by that? There are people who get scholarship and they don't have to pay from pocket. There are even people who get scholarship and they don't have money. Because they have full scholarship, they're able to collect study loan to cover the family portion. So, if you think that family relocation means you have to first save for 40 years, before then you have turned 70, your wife is now how old? Your kids and cannot even travel with you because they are all adults. You've got it mixed up. You've got it mixed up. So, if you are worried about funding your family relocation, you can. I made a video before about family relocation funding, but I've already said it that you can get scholarship, you can get full scholarship, you can get study loan for family relocation. So, fund is not the end of it. It's a challenge. It's an obstacle to be overcome. Just like any obstacle you know in life. And there are ways to overcome it. The question is, are you knowledgeable on how to overcome it? That's the real question. What other question do you have? What other question do you have? Drop your question. What question do you have about family relocation? I want to address those things. Somebody said, like, how much can one budget? You can't budget because I can't give you a specific figure. That's what I mean. Because it is dependent on you. Let's assume you're a single mom. You're a single mom with one kid. The amount you need is different from you're a single mom with 2 kids. The amount you need is different from if you're a single mom with 3 kids, and the number goes. What if you're a single parent? Let's say you got married, you are separated or divorced, right? And you're the only one traveling, you don't have a child. The amount you need is different. What if it's husband and wife traveling only, you don't have kids? The amount you need is different. What if it's husband and wife and 1 kid? Husband and wife and 2 kids? Husband and wife and 3 kids? Are you seeing? And I'm just talking about the structure of your family. And you already see that there are layers to it. So you can't say, how much do you need? I'll just call a figure. That's what fake people do. And I don't look fake to you, right? That's what fake people do. And if somebody is even giving you a figure, run for your life, because, like, without telling you the details of those figures. Secondly, different countries, right? Different countries have different requirements. If you're going to US or UK or Canada, you're going to need different amounts. However, how do you overcome this? Instead of sitting, waiting for the day you're going to know the figure and then you're going to save for it, get trained on how it works. Because with training, you'll be able to know, you'll be able to at least come down on the country, come down on the school, know how much that school is, know if they have scholarship or not, know if there's study loan for your school, right? Know your family structure, be able to come down to what looks like a budget for you. But you can't do that if you're not trained. Or you look for simple answers. Somebody that will just say, go and prepare this amount. But when the going gets tough, you see that what you have prepared is not going to lead you to anywhere. Or they called too high an amount for you, and you were thinking of how to get that high an amount that you never got started on your dream. So whether they call the real figure, a lower figure, a higher figure, your dream is at stake. Either it is too low that you plan with it and you fall flat on your face, or it is too high that you never get started. The best way is to get trained on how this thing actually works. Right? Now let's look at the next question that people have. Somebody said, please, what is the cost of relocating to Canada? The question I answered before already answers that question. You can't put a cost to it. There is so much more for you to do before you get to the stage of cost. Somebody said, my question is, how can one know school that offers scholarship? That is where the training comes. This is what you can do. You can attend our free study abroad webinar. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Take a screenshot. www.vantagemigration.ca. Please, if you can see this image, can you comment it on if you're watching this video live, you can comment it as a comment. www.vantagemigration.ca. That is the link to our free webinar, and you can get info on how to actually get started. All right, and we train you on how to apply for admission, scholarship, and all the other things you need to do in order to successfully relocate abroad all by yourself. Now let's look at the next question. How much will it cost husband and wife to travel? I think the answer I gave before already covers this, that what school are you going to? Somebody asked that question. The question I have for you is, what school are you going to and what country are you relocating to? I know you are going to quickly tell me, I'm going to Canada. How do you know you are going to Canada? How do you know? Do you have an admission in Canada right now? You can only guess. And how does this guesswork actually help you with actually achieving your relocation? That is not the way to go. That is not the way to go. So someone was asking, how do I get started? I already showed you the webinar link. Attend the free webinar so that you know what we are talking about and how to actually start. We have somebody else that say, I want to get trained on how it works. What is the process? Okay, the same question. Go to www.vantagemigration.ca, www.vantagemigration.ca. Attend the free webinar. That is how to get started. Let's look at the next question. If you have other dependents for travel with you, what does it take? Other dependents to travel with you, it will the only place where your dependents come in is at the visa stage. So even if you have dependents that you want to travel with, the first real task is to identify the schools, identify the country, get your admission letter. That is the first real task, right? Because depending on the country, what you have to do for your dependents will be different or could be similar. So first real task. Some people don't know that when you say family relocation, they think that, oh, me and my family will just start sending documents. No. That's not how it works. You have to get your admission first. Okay, let's see. Somebody say, I just want to look at the question. Somebody say, can somebody who has HND in civil engineering go to master's degree in UK? Yes, you can. Yes. Okay, let's look at the next question from someone who has question here. Somebody say, I want to go to Canada or UK. Yes, that's fine. Start with www.vantagemigration.ca. Okay, that's how to get started, so that you know what we are talking about and you have enough information to get started. All right, let's look at somebody said, what's the cost of your teaching? Definitely, I'm not going to tell you here. Start with the free study abroad webinar. What I usually say to somebody is, if you cannot start with the free study abroad webinar, it truly means that you are not even really ready. So before you start asking me the cost, attend the free study abroad webinar. That is how to start. While you are there, you get all the information that you need and what to do next, and you have the opportunity to ask your questions and we'll be able to answer. So start with the free study abroad webinar. That is the first way to start. Okay, go to www.vantagemigration.ca. I already showed you this before. All right, these are the questions that I had, but in summary, family relocation to Canada, US, UK via the study abroad route is actually not complicated. It's either, you're a man that have children, you're a woman that have children, you're a woman with no kids, you're a man with no kids, or you have your family and you can have any number of kids. Any of this situation, yes, you can travel with your family. And the nitty-gritties, the small details, those are not the things somebody can give you offhand, except they are just trying to cheat you, except they are just trying to tell you sweet things. But how long will the sweet thing take you now? You know? So get started so that you understand how it works, and you can put your own small things together, right? That is the best way. All right, that is the best way. I know some people have some questions, complicated questions. Attend our free study abroad webinar. We're also going to do question and answer there. At the end, you will also see the way to contact myself and my team directly with your private questions via email. So go to www.vantagemigration.ca. Again, I show you the link. www.vantagemigration.ca and get started. That is what you need to do today. Okay? Take good care of yourself till I see you again. Yeah. Take care.